Friends, in this video, today we detailedly discuss about the BLDC motor drive. So let's begin. First of all, we can understand what is the difference in between brushed DC motor and brushless DC motor. So friends, as we seen that there are different advantages of the brushless DC motor. So that's why in an industry we prefer this type of motor. So first of all, we can understand what is the construction of the brushed DC motor and brushless DC motor. So the name itself indicates because as we know that in concern with the DC motor, we are using the different types of the elements which will be called it as the armature, field, commutator and brushes. So in the brushed DC motor, the brushes are present. The brushes present. And in concern with the brushless DC motor, there is absence of brushes. Then the second very important part in concern with the brushed DC motor and brushless DC motor, because due to the presence of the brushes, so the losses or the different types of losses will be present in that particular brushed DC motor, and due to that the efficiency of this system will be very less. So second point, the efficiency is less because due to the presence of brushes, and efficiency of the system should be very large because the efficiency is large because the absence of brush. Because as we seen that while we are using the brushed DC motor, so there are brushes are present, so due to that the more maintenance in that particular brushed DC motor, so it is more maintenance. So in concern with the brushless DC motor, there should be a less maintenance. So it is brushless DC motor, there should be a more maintenance, and in brushless DC motor, there should be a very less maintenance will be there. So obviously, in concern with the brushless DC motor, we are using controlling by using the DC supply. So the control circuit is simple of the brushless DC motor. So the control circuit is simple. But while we are using the brushless DC motor, then the control circuit will be quietly complex because in control circuit we are using the different types of semiconductor devices. So that's why this type of the brushless DC motor will be called it as the semiconductor controlled circuit. And the next very important differentiation in between the brushed DC motor and brushless DC motor is that due to the presence of this particular brushes in the DC motor, so concern with the brushed DC motor, there should be a commutation because this the commutation will be part of the mechanical commutation. So we are using the mechanical type of commutation in that particular brushed DC motor, and in concern with the brushless DC motor, we are using the electronic commutation. So electronic commutation means what? Electronic commutation, because as we know that in concern with the DC motor, EMF will be basically generated, that will be sinusoidal according to the fundamental laws. So that AC EMF will be converted by means of the commutation circuit, because it's the mechanical commutation will convert that alternating quantity into DC quantity. So the type of commutation will be mechanical commutation. But in concern with that particular brushless DC motor, we are using electronic commutation, because as we know that in concern with the brushless DC motor, we are providing a different type of semiconductor control circuit. So commutation should be provided in the brushless DC motor is the electronic commutation. So due to there are the different various advantages of the brushless DC motor, so these brushless DC motors are very popular in the industry. So in concern with the various applications, such applications will be your drones, various tape recorders, and various types of the computer peripherals. We are preferring this type of motor. So this type of motor will be called it as the brushless DC motor. So friends, we can understand what are the different construction of the brushless DC motor. So sometimes this brushless DC motor will be called it as the PMAC. So what do you mean by the PMAC? Why we call it as PMAC? So it is permanent magnet AC motor. So we can discuss why we call it as a permanent magnet AC motor, because as we know that in construction of the brushless DC motor we are using stator and rotor. So basically in the stator winding we are using a different type of the winding which we call it as armature winding, and in rotor circuit we are using the permanent magnet. So due to the presence of the permanent magnet, this type of motor will be called it as a brushless DC motor, or we call it as permanent magnet DC motor. So the name, that is brushless DC motor and PMAC motor, remain the same. Okay, so we can understand what are the different construction of that particular brushless DC motor. So as we know that this is the part will be called it as the stator winding of your circuit. So this stator winding will be basically made up of with steel. So obviously we are using the steel, and in that particular stator winding we are using armature winding. So it is considered as an armature winding. So depending upon our requirement, we are using the single phase, three phase armature winding. So this is the stator winding, and the second part will be called it as the rotor. So this rotor will be the made up of with the permanent magnet. So obviously what do you mean by the permanent magnet? So basically we are using the neodymium type of magnetic material will be used for the construction of the rotor, that is called it as a permanent magnet. And friends, as we know that we are using control circuitry, that is called it as the electronic control circuitry. So there is very important part of the sensor that will be sense the basic position of this particular drive. So this is called it as the Hall effect sensor, which senses the position of this particular drive, and according to that particular position, the Hall effect sensor will senses different position of this particular drive to your controller circuit, and depending upon your controller circuit, your controller will control speed of your BLDC motor. So this is called it as the construction of your BLDC motor. Now friends, we can start to understand what will be basic winding of that particular BLDC motor. So obviously in concerning the basic winding of this BLDC motor, so as we know that this will be the stator part of your circuit, so I can write for your understanding. So this is the stator part of your motor, this is the rotor. So in a stator part we are using this type of winding. It will be obviously we call it as, sometime it will be called it as armature winding, and rotor we are using the permanent magnet that we are using for your rotor circuit. So friends, as we know that particular circuit we are giving the supply to that particular stator. So this will be the supply that we are giving to the stator. So this is the supply. So with the supply that we are given to your stator from this to this. So we are getting this supply from here. So this is the first supply, that is a current incoming. This will be the current will be outgoing. So the direction of this current will be negative. This is for single phase. Okay. So basically while we are energizing that particular armature winding, which will be mounted on the stator poles. So these stator poles will having a polarity which will be called it as N pole, and this stator pole which will be having the winding, that is the A dash, or we call it as the A bar. So it will be having or creating a pole that is N and S. So friends, as we know that when we are applying a voltage across this the particular terminal, so as we see that this will be the voltage will be called it as EA, which will be applied to the winding of your armature. So according to the position of these rotor poles and stator poles, polarity of this pole, suppose this polarity of this pole should be N, polarity of this rotor pole should be S. So as we know that the opposite poles are attracted towards each other, and basically the similar pole will be reflected towards each other. So by the use of this particular winding, if we are applying the force, so obviously this drive will be rotated in the different direction. So as we know that this is different coils. So the first coil will be 120-degree based apart from the second coil. So this is the second coil, this is the third coil. Angle between these coils will be 120 degree apart. So it's 120 degree apart from each other. So A to B, that is 120 degree. This is 120 degree. This is 120 degree, and obviously, if we are applying a single phase to that particular coil, that is A to A dash. So similarly, we are applying the voltage to the B, B dash, and C to C dash, and according to that particular position, these types of the stator poles with rating it's a pole, so that is the pole will be N or S. This is N or S, and depending upon position of this rotor, direction of this drive will be controlled. So friends, as we know that if we are giving the direction in concern with the phase sequence of A, B, C, then at that time this drive will be rotated in the clockwise direction. If we are changing the direction of the phase sequence according to the AC, so obviously the direction of this type of drive will be controlled. So depending upon the input supply voltage, we can control the direction of this drive, and this is called it as the brushless DC drives construction. So friends, now we can understand how we can control the basic fundamental thing in concern with the brushless DC motor drive. So obviously this is a self-controlled variable frequency drives. So friends, these are the self-controlled variable frequency drive employing the sinusoidal PMAC, that is permanent magnet alternating current type of motors, which we call it as brushless DC motor, that we had already discussed earlier. So obviously in concern with that particular, we want to understand first of all the block reduction or the block representation. The first part is the stator. Basically, these windings are the stationary winding. We are giving the supply to that particular stator. So after that, we are giving that particular stator winding supply to your rotor. So rotor will be the magnet, and this magnet will be continuously rotating. So obviously, we are using the electronic commutation. So electronic commutation will be instead of brush. That is depending upon your position of your feedback. So in concern with that, we are using the different types of Hall effect sensor, which we can control the drive operation. So according to that particular drive operation, we are giving a different reference signal to the phases of your stator winding. So this is called it as a drive electron. So depending upon the requirement of the position, we can give input to your stator winding. So this is the stator winding of your supply, and now we can give the supply to that particular stator winding according to the requirement.
So friends, we can start about the next point, that is types of BLDC motor. So basically the BLDC motors are classified as the two types. So the first type of BLDC motor is called it as unipolar BLDC motor, and the second type of motor which will be called it as the bipolar BLDC motor. So what is the difference in between unipolar BLDC motor and bipolar BLDC motor? Basically unipolar BLDC motor will be used for the power rating up to 100 watt, and if the power ratings are more, then we can prefer the bipolar BLDC motor in a day-to-day life. But friends, in a practically now we are using the BLDC motor is the type that will be most preferred type of the BLDC motor which will be used in the industry, that is a bipolar BLDC motor. So friends, we can understand the detailed concept of unipolar and bipolar BLDC motor. So friends, let's first of all we can understand what do you mean by unipolar, that is unipolar half wave BLDC drive. So the name itself indicates its meaning. So it is the operation of this type of the BLDC motor will be operated in the half wave. So sometime we call it as the unipolar half wave BLDC drive. So friends, we can understand what will be the working principle of that the unipolar BLDC drive. So as shown in figure, there are different phototransistors are there. So the phototransistor first one which will be called it as PT1. This is the second phototransistor, that is a PT2. This is the third phototransistor which will be the PT3. So friends, in the unipolar BLDC drive we are using one revolving shutter. So basically what will be the purpose of this particular revolving shutter will be that while the photonic energy will be inserted on that the particular phototransistor, the motion or the rotation of this shutter will remaining the change. So friends, as we shown in that the unipolar BLDC drive, these phototransistors are basically 120 degree apart from the each other. So that will be the position of this particular phototransistor. So friends, this is the first part. Then we are moving towards the construction of the BLDC motor. That is basically, as we have know, this is the stator part of your BLDC motor, and this is basically rotor of your BLDC motor. So as we seen that there is a winding which will be called it as a W1, W2, W3, and this winding W1, W2 and W3 will be basically inserted at the position that is the P1, that is the P2, and this is the P3. So these are the three positions which will be basically connected to the different phototransistor, that is P1, which will be basically responsible for the phototransistor number first, P2 will be responsible for the phototransistor 2, and the P3 will be connected to the phototransistor 3. So friends, this is the basic thing, and we seen that there should be a winding on the stator pole. So this is the winding which will be placed and which will be represented by W1, W2, W3. So what do you mean by W1, W2 and W3? So this is the winding that is called it as the stator winding. As we seen that this is the stator winding of your unipolar BLDC motor. So again, there is very important device which will be called it as a transistor. So this is TR1, TR2 and TR3. So where are these three transistors? So these are called it as a transistor, which are basically operated from the phototransistor itself. So this transistor TR1 will be connected to the phototransistor that is PT1, that is transistor number 2 that will be connected to the phototransistor 2, and the PT3, that is a transistor number 3, that will be directly connected to the phototransistor number 3. So according to the position of this particular phototransistor, that will energize this transistor. So according to that, we will get the negative supply to that the particular winding, and this circuit will be totally rotated. So these are the different parts or the elements of the unipolar BLDC drive. Now friends, we will discuss how this unipolar half wave BLDC drive will be work. So basically, for the understanding of the unipolar half wave BLDC drive, we should understand some concept. So what are these particular concept? So now we will giving the supply to that the particular BLDC motor. So this is the BLDC motor actually that we are getting. So basically that we are giving to the supply, that is positive supply and negative supply. That supply will be given by the EN, that is the external source, which will be DC source. So that is the positive supply given to your one side of your winding. So this positive supply we can draw. So this will be given to one side of your winding of W1. Similarly, we are giving this supply to the winding number 2. Similarly, we are giving this supply winding number 3. So friends, this is the first part. Now we want to understand the second part. So what do you mean by the second part? So second part is very, very important while completing the circuit, because as we have the fundamental concept, these three phototransistors are kept, that is 120 degree apart from each other. So this is the angle between PT1, PT2 and PT3, that will be 120 degree apart. Okay, so friends, the very important concept in concern with the unipolar BLDC drive. So in that the particular unipolar BLDC drive, only one phototransistor will conduct at a time, and the other two transistors are remain off. So basically only one transistor will be conducting. So due to that, for the conduction of the first or only one phototransistor, the only one transistor will be operated at time. When the only one transistor will be operated, depending upon that the transistor current, or as we seen that the depending upon this transistor operation, only one winding is connected to the motor, and according to that the rotor of your motor will be rotated. So first of all, we can understand what will happen at the phototransistor number first. So this is very, very important. So this is a phototransistor number first. So according to the mechanical arrangement of the revolving shutter, so this first phototransistor will senses the photonic energy. So according to that, this phototransistor will be connected to that the transistor number TR1. So this is the phototransistor which will be connected to the transistor number TR1. So when we are getting some of the energy to the transistor TR1. So this transistor TR1 will be energize the coil, because this coil will be connected to the negative supply, because this transistor will give you the negative supply for the completing path. So according to that, friends, we can see this is the positive supply which will be given to that the winding number 1, and this is the negative supply. So due to that, the circuit will complete, and if the circuit will complete, your BLDC rotor obviously will be rotate into that particular position. So this is the first thing. So after the second position, when the PT2 will get the energy from the photons, so that the PT2 will be given the supply to the transistor number T2. So at that particular position, the PT1 and PT3 will remaining basically unconductive. So the only supply will be getting to that the particular winding of the W2. So for the operation of again that the W2, that is basically that the W2 is connected to the negative winding supply, because as we seen that the positive supply is connected to this particular winding, and by the use of this the photo transistor action 2, this the transistor are connected to that the particular winding, and we will complete the supply. So according to that, your rotor position will change. So friends, this is the second case, and when we are getting the photonic energy to the phototransistor number 3, so similar thing will be happen. So at that time only PT1 will be in conducting state, and remaining all phototransistors are will be in non-conducting state. So due to that the particular condition of the revolving shutter, only PT3 will be conducting. So due to the PT3, that will be given to the supply of the transistor number 3, that is TR3. So due to that, the negative supply, that will be negative supply will be connected to that the particular winding. So this transistor T1, T2, T3 are connected to the basically the negative supply. So due to that, the path of the circuit will be complete and rotor will rotate. So friends, in this way, while we are changing the different position of the phototransistor, we can operate the different transistors which are connected into the circuit. So while we are changing the position of the phototransistor PT1, the transistor TR1 will be in conducting state. While we are changing the position of the PT2, the transistor TR2 will be in conducting state, and according to that, the rotor of your BLDC motor will be worked. So friends, this rotor of the BLDC motor will be worked at only one phase will be energized. That is a one phase of the stator winding will be energized. So that will be the very important concept. That is why the operation of this unipolar BLDC drive will be a half wave, and that is the important concept. Now friends, we can understand what are the different limitations of the unipolar BLDC motor. So basically, as we seen in that the particular unipolar BLDC motor, so in that the unipolar BLDC motor, the stator windings are inductive in nature. So when this stator winding will be energized, it will have some energy stored into the winding. But while we are removing the supply, then what will happen? So due to that, the energy which will be stored in that the particular stator winding, so this energy will be released, and this energy will disturb the transistor. So because of that, such motors cannot be used for power more than 100 watt. Let's we can understand this concept very clearly. So as we seen that at the first case, when we are giving the supply to this winding W1, so as we know that this is a stator winding, and stator winding basically will be having a inductive in nature. So while we are giving the supply to that the stator winding through that the phototransistor and TR1, so at that time this stator winding will basically inductive in nature, so it stores its the energy. And when we are removing the supply, due to the property of its inductance, so it will store its energy, and due to that, the stored energy, while we are removing the supply, so that the store energy or the store value of the energy, which will be in the form of the current, that current will be flowing through that the TR1. So this is the current I1 which will be flowing through that the TR1, and due to the larger value of this particular current, the transistor may be disturbed. This transistor may be disturbed. So similar thing will be happen with the PT2 and PT3. When we are giving the energizing the PT2 winding, so this winding will be in inductive in nature. So due to that, when we are cut off the supply, so due to its inductance property, the current, that is reverse current, or we call it as the value of the current that will be flowing through that the transistor number 2, again this transistor T2 will be disturbed. Similar condition will be basically happen with the PT3 when we are energizing the PT3. So obviously that will rotate, but if we shut down the supply, so at that time the stored energy will be dissipated in the particular transistor TR3, and due to that the basically destruction of the transistor will be possible. So this is one of the limitations of the unipolar BLDC drive. So friends, to overcome that the limitations, we can basically do that the particular thing that we are connecting one freewheeling diode across that the particular transistor. So this the freewheeling diode which will be basically freewheels, that is the circulating current through that the particular circuit. So the damage of the transistor may be basically saved. So due to that, this is the one of the method by which we can basically use a unipolar BLDC motor by the connection of the one freewheeling diode, and that the connection of the freewheeling diode will be basically useful for the large power stored energy in the winding. So that's why we can prefer this unipolar BLDC motor with the higher power rating. So basically the construction while we are using the unipolar BLDC motor along with its a freewheeling diode, that is the second type of your BLDC motor, and this the second type of the BLDC motor will be called it as bipolar BLDC motor. But before we going to start that the particular bipolar BLDC motor, we want to understand what is a waveform of the unipolar BLDC drive. So as we seen that this is the PT1, PT2 and PT3. So these are the different photo transistor which will be operation, and this is angle at which basically these three photo transistors. So this is a photo transistor number 1 which will be basically operation which will be connected for the 120 degree. This is the photo transistor number PT2 which will be operated at only 120 degree, and after that the photo transistor 3 will be operated at the 120 degree. So friends, as shown in figure, the only one photo transistor will be conducted at a particular time. So due to that, we will get a half wave waveform from a unipolar BLDC motor drive. So this is the actual concept of the unipolar BLDC motor drive. Now we want to understand the second type of the BLDC motor, that is the second type of BLDC motor, that is bipolar. So the name itself indicates its a meaning. So it is a bipolar, that is the output waveform which we are getting from the BLDC drive, that is full wave output waveform. So that's why this type of the motor will be called it as a full wave BLDC drive. So friends, as we earlier discussed about what are the different limitations of the unipolar BLDC motor. So in the unipolar BLDC motor, if we are using the freewheeling diodes along with its different construction, then this type of the drive will be called it as a BLDC motor. So as we seen that this is a difference in between the bipolar and unipolar drive. So in the bipolar BLDC drive, we are using the freewheeling diodes. So in the unipolar BLDC drive, we are not using the basically freewheeling diode. So we can understand the detailed construction of the bipolar BLDC drive. So what will be the difference in between unipolar and bipolar? Basically in unipolar, we are using only 3 photo transistor, but in the bipolar BLDC drive, we are using the Hall effect sensor on which we are connecting different types of the sensor at the different position. This position is P, that is photo transistor position, which will be PT1, PT2, PT3, PT4, PT5 and PT6. So the conduction of the each photo transistor is basically for the 60 degree itself, and that's why this the bipolar BLDC drive will be give you the operation that is 60 60 60. So for each and every stator winding, the two transistors are basically operated at a time, and due to that it will give you full wave output waveform. So friends, we can understand, this is PT1, this is PT2, PT3, PT4, PT5 and PT6. So these are the 6 photo transistors which are connected to the rotor circuit of your BLDC motor. Basically on that the rotor circuit we are connecting one disc on which we have to mounted different types of the Hall effect sensor, that is nothing but your basically phototransistor. So what will be the operation of this particular phototransistor? So whenever we are getting the light, this phototransistor will get operate, and according to that the position of that particular phototransistor, we are creating some of the logic sequence that will be given when basically according to its instruction of the revolving direction, so that the instructions of that the position of that the particular rotor, that will be giving the different signals to the different thyristor, or we call it as a different transistor. Okay, so these are the power electronic devices. So depending upon our requirement, whether we are using transistor, whether we are using thyristor, so according to this waveform we are using the transistor for the operation of the bipolar BLDC drive. So we are giving the signals to the logic sequencer circuit, and according to that it will generate the different pulses which will be required for the operation of the transistor TR1, TR2, TR3, TR5, TR6. So these are the 6 transistor. So what will be the difference in between the bipolar and BLDC drive and unipolar BLDC drive? So in the bipolar BLDC drive, basically the two transistors are working at a time. So obviously what will happen, so due to the operation of the transistor, two windings are basically excited. So due to that we will get basically operation, that is a full wave operation. So friends, let's we can understand the actual working principle. So suppose friends, we are getting the position of your transistor, that is from the PT1 and PT2. So this is the position by which we have to sense by the lighting energy. So according to that we are getting the control signal to that the particular transistor. So according to that the particular signal, the transistor TR1 and TR2 will be operation. So these all transistors are connected by the means of this circuit. So these all transistors are interconnected. So while we are changing the position of this the particular bipolar BLDC drive, according to that the signals are given to the transistor, and according to the signals which are given to the transistor, so the two transistors are working at a time. So due to that the phase sequence or the phase will be excited. So as we seen that from transistor TR1 and TR2 we are connecting one phase, that is the phase which we call it as U phase. From transistor 3 and 4 we are connecting, that is the phase number V, that is phase number 2, and from transistor number 5 and 6 we are connecting the phase, that is W. So this is the actual rotor part of your BLDC motor drive. So this rotor will be connected basically in the delta winding. So due to that again the working principle remaining the same, because we are giving the positive supply to basically that the circuit. Okay, so this is positive supply, this is negative supply. So depending upon the requirement of the bipolar BLDC drive we can get the output. So friends, what is the difference? So as we have seen the basic fundamental thing, so this is basically the stator winding. So this is basically stator winding. So and this stator winding which will be connected in a delta, and this is the rotor of your BLDC motor. This is the rotor of your BLDC motor. So in that the BLDC motor rotor according to its stator winding, so again the stator winding will be inductive in nature. So while we are giving the supply to the stator winding, so it will be stored some energy, and while we are removing the supply from the stator, so this stator itself releases its energy, but we are connecting some of the freewheeling diodes across your transistor. So the energy will be dissipated in that the particular transistor, and due to that there should be no damage of this particular transistor. So that's why this type of the bipolar full wave BLDC drives are basically preferred for the higher power rating. So friends, in a day-to-day life in an industry we are preferring this bipolar BLDC drive, and the detail working that we can understand by the taking of BLDC drives working principle that we have discussed later on. Okay, so this is called it as bipolar BLDC drive. Now friends, we have to understand what are the different speed torque characteristics of the BLDC motor. So first of all we want to draw the equivalent circuit of the BLDC motor. So we will draw that is equivalent circuit of BLDC motor. So if you want to draw the equivalent circuit of BLDC motor, we will draw this equivalent circuit by a simple fundamental thing. So this is the stator of your BLDC motor. This is basically the magnetic rotor of your BLDC motor. So we are giving, that is the supply V here. The armature resistance of the BLDC motor, this is RA. The current will be flowing through that the particular circuit will be IA. Then this is basically magnetic rotor. This is magnetic rotor which will be having the back EMF of EB. Okay, so this is the back EMF which will be called it as EB. Okay, so this is the stator winding. So in the stator winding which will be having the resistance RA, so I can write what are the different parameters. So EB will be back EMF of your BLDC motor, so it is back EMF. And RA will be called it as the stator resistance. Stator resistance. And omega is angular velocity. So basically, as we seen that the rotor will be rotate at a particular speed, so that the speed is nothing but your angular velocity. So we have basic fundamental concept, that is back EMF will be directly proportional to the angular velocity, that is EB is directly proportional to omega. So we can get this particular thing. So friends, this is the actual equivalent circuit of a BLDC motor. So we will derive the torque speed characteristics, because the equivalent circuit of the BLDC motor which will be remaining the same as the conventional DC motor. So this is the very important thing. Now we want to draw, or we want to derive the speed torque equation of the BLDC motor. So for the sake of that, uh, first of all, we want to write some of the things. So what are the different things? So first of all, we can neglecting voltage drop across the transistor, because as we seen that in the different BLDC motor we are using the different transistor. So the voltage equal to the, so first thing is that we are neglecting the voltage drop across the transistor, that is equal to its voltage. So that will be given by the fundamental equation, that is EB, or we call it as E now, that is directly proportional to omega. So we can rewrite this equation, that is E is equal to the proportionality constant, that is Kb into omega, where we can write what do you mean by Kb. So Kb is equal to basically back EMF. So it is back EMF constant. Now we can write by applying a KVL to that the particular circuit. So what does it mean? So we are applying the KVL to that the particular circuit, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law, and according to that we can get one of the fundamental equation. So what would be the fundamental equation? That is voltage is equal to IA, that is armature current, armature resistance, plus E will be called it as a back EMF, as we known as, we will sometime it will be called it as EB, no problem about it. So now we can insert the value of the E into that the particular equation. So we can get, that is V is equal to IA RA plus KB into omega, where KB is the basically back EMF constant and omega is the angular velocity. So friends, this is the voltage equation, so we call it as equation number first. So friends, according to that the first equation, we can get the value of the armature current. So we will get the armature current. So it is the value of the armature current. So how we can find out the value of the armature current? By rearranging this term, because this is a very important term. So IA is equal to basically, now we can just change the position, that is basically V minus E divided by RA. So using this equation we will get the value of the IA. So if you want to get the value of IA in terms of this term, so we can get the value of IA. So what should be the value of IA? So this is IA is equal to V minus Kb into omega divided by Ra. So this is the equation number 2, which will be equation of your armature current. So we are getting very important equation, that is the equation basically for the voltage equation. This is current equation. So from that the voltage and current equation, now we can get that is a torque equation of your BLDC motor. So what will be the torque equation of your BLDC motor? So for the understanding of the torque equation of BLDC motor, so friends, after the voltage and current equation, we are moving towards the torque equation of your BLDC motor. So as we have the fundamental concept, that is torque is basically directly proportional to current. So torque is directly proportional to current, because according to the basic fundamental of torque is the force which will cause to rotate or to cause a motion. So torque is directly proportional to current. So we are getting the equation of the BLDC motor's torque. So that is torque is directly proportional to current. So this is torque, T is torque, Ia is the current. So we have to write, or we have to put one constant which will be Kt. So what do you mean by Kt? We can write that is Kt is equal to torque constant of your BLDC motor. So it is a torque constant. So Kt will be torque constant of your BLDC motor. So we can get one important equation, that is T is equal to, we have to write that is Kt, because we have already formula of the current. So what should be the formula of the current? That we have already derived earlier. So this is the value of the current. Now we want to substitute this the value of the current into next equation. So now we can substitute the value of the current into that the particular equation. So what should be the value of the current? So obviously the value of the current, that is V minus Kb into omega divided by Ra. So what do you mean by Kb? Kb is back EMF constant, Kt is a torque constant, omega is the angular velocity, or we call it as speed, Ra will be the resistance. So friends, from this particular equation we can get some of the very important conclusion. So this is very important equation that will be responsible for the torque. So we called it as, this is the equation number 3. So this is the torque equation of your BLDC motor. So we are getting some of the conclusion from this particular torque equation. So what are the different conclusions? So if we are checking this equation of the torque, so according to that the equation, we can write down the first condition as speed increases. We can check as speed increases, so what will happen? The torque decreases. So why the torque decreases? Because of, as we seen that the difference of the voltage and speed that will be responsible. So if this drop will be basically increase, then obviously the value of the torque will be decreased when voltage constant, when voltage remaining the constant. That would be the first conclusion. And the second conclusion is what? As voltage increase, because we are getting the second concept of the voltage. So what do you mean by the voltage? So this voltage V, as the voltage increase, the torque will be increased. So the torque will be increased due to what? Because this voltage and torque are basically directly proportional. So if we are increasing the value of the voltage, obviously the torque will be increases. So due to that, what will happen? So by the changing of the voltage, we can control the torque speed characteristics of the BLDC motor. So when it will be happen at the constant speed, at a constant speed. So these are the two very important conclusion that we are getting from this torque speed characteristics of the BLDC motor. So now we want to understand what will be the concept at the stalling torque at when t is equal to 0. So now we want to understand some of the cases in concern with the BLDC motor. So we can write the important concept, that is a stalling torque. So it sometime we call it as a pull out torque, breakout torque, when the speed is equal to 0, so what will be the condition? So we can write this equation, that is t is equal to kt into v minus kb into omega. So from this equation we can get the value of torque is kt into v divided by ra. So this is the stalling torque at omega is equal to 0. So simply in that the particular equation we are substituting the value of the omega is equal to 0. So according to that we can get this equation. So this is basically equation related to your torque, and this is the term which will be Ra, which will be available, that is the bottom side of your torque. So this is the first case. Now the second case that we want to understand, the maximum value of speed. So the maximum speed will be possible when the maximum speed will be possible as load is equal to, that is t is equal to 0, and we can get no load speed, that is we can rewrite, that is no load speed is equal to omega 0. So we can get the equation, that is a fundamental equation of torque, that is kt into v minus kb into omega divided by Ra. So we have to substitute this term. From this we can get equation, that is omega 0, that is no load speed, or we call it as a maximum speed, is equal to v divided by, basically we can get this equation, that is v divided by kb. So basically the value of this resistance we can take into, that is multiplication of torque. So torque is 0, this resistance will be 0. So omega, that is omega is equal to omega 0, that will be give you v divided by kb. So this is the actual expression that we are getting from the different fundamental things in concern with the torque and speed characteristics of your BLDC motor. So from this particular equation we can say that the torque speed characteristics of the basically BLDC motor will be similar to the conventional DC motor, because as we seen that from the torque and speed relationship of your BLDC motor we can draw simply the torque speed characteristics. So what does it mean? So we can draw the torque and speed characteristics. So this is the torque, this is the speed. So from this particular torque speed equation, we can say that while we are increasing the value of the speed, the torque will be linearly decrease, because this conclusion that we are getting from the equation number first, as speed increases, torque decreases. So this is basically a concept that we want to understand while we are getting the torque speed characteristics of the BLDC motor. So similarly friends, we have to draw some of the speed torque characteristics for the forward as well as the reverse motion. So we can see that this is actual torque in Newton meter which will be available, and this is the value of the speed in RPM of your BLDC motor. So what we can see, this is for forward motion, this is for reverse motion, this is for reverse motion. Again the remaining the same, that is speed in RPM, this is torque in Newton meter. So we can get, while we are increasing the value in terms of your torque, so the speed of your basically BLDC motor will get reduced. So similarly we can rewrite, while we are increasing the value of the speed, the torque of your BLDC motor will get reduced. So that is the very important concept of the BLDC motor, because as we have discussed earlier, so while we are understanding the concept of the speed and torque understanding of the BLDC motor, so we can get such type of characteristics. So as we shown in that the particular diagram, this one characteristics is for the forward motion and in second characteristics is for the reverse motion. So friends, in this way we have detailedly study about the different speed torque characteristics of the BLDC motor.
So friends, now we can understand what is closed loop control scheme of your system. So for sake of that, now we have to draw one closed loop control system. So as we know that this is a brushless DC motor. So very important part of the brushless DC motor that we are using, first of all, controller. that is the controller we are using for the controlling of that particular circuit. So this controller, after controller, we are using the different types of power modulators. Okay. So we are giving supply to your power modulator as per our requirement. And from power modulator, we are using motor. Construction of this motor will be called it as the BLDC motor. And from BLDC motor, we are using the different types of load. Suppose we are using this BLDC motor for your basically that is computer peripherals device, computer peripheral device. So friends, from this particular BLDC motor, we are using the sensor. This type of sensor will be called it as a Hall effect sensor. Is Hall effect sensor. So in that particular Hall effect circuit sensor, we are using the different type of commutation devices. So depending upon these commutation devices, so we are called it as the commutation circuit. We call it as the commutation circuit. What do we mean by the commutation circuit? Depending upon the controller action and this commutation circuit, now we are given to your control. So this controller will be depending upon the controlling action. This controller will select which type of, because this will be the reference input and they are given. So this will be the sensed part of your speed. So we call it as the Hall effect sensor, that is omega, and we are given that is speed, that is a reference speed to that particular controller. So this controller will control the speed of your BLDC motor by using this Hall effect sensor. So friend, this is the actual closed loop speed control scheme of your BLDC motor. How we can understand this whole fundamental thing by means of circuit diagram. So friends, as we seen that this is a three-phase inverter circuit should be used as a power modulator for your devices. So we are giving the DC supply. So as you know that inverter will be the device that will be convert that the DC supply into AC supply. So in concern with the BLDC motor, we want to just energizing the phases of A, B, C. So this will be called it as phase A, this is winding B, and this is winding C. So this is the current which will be IA, this is the current will be IB, this current should be the IC from that particular circuit. So the direction of this current IA, the direction of this current IB, direction of this current should be IC. So these are the three currents which will be flowing to that particular armature winding of a LDC motor. This is the neutral point should be connected, because as we know that the winding of the armature will be obviously connected in the star connection. This is the star connection. So as we know that friends, we are using the basically in the electronic commutation. So what do we mean by the electronic commutation? So we are using the different types of the power electronic devices. Maybe we are using here, 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 and here. We are using the 6 power electronic devices. These devices will be your our MOSFET, or we call it as a SCR. So now we are using the MOSFET, that is metal semiconductor field effect transistor. So according to that particular metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, we are using the modulation technique that will be called it as a pulse width modulation technique. So that's why we are represented this as the WM1 is WM3, PWM6, so it is PWM2, PWM4, PWM0. So we are using 6 number of different types of the MOSFET devices for the changing of the commutation of that particular devices. So friends, first of all, we can understand when we are giving the supply at that particular time, we need two phases. So first phase is from the upper leg and the second phase is from your lower leg will be conduction. So friends, now we can understand how the path of that particular conduction will be takes place. So now I can represent the path of the conduction, so we can understand the actual concept. So friends, let's we can understand the concept of that particular path. So first supply will be going to look like that. From the first switch that will be look like that. So now this supply will be going to the phase IA. Now it will be going to phase IA. So this is IA. Now it will be moving from IB. So the direction of this IB, now it will be reversed. So it is reverse current direction, and from switch number 2, that path will be complete. This is positive, this is negative. So at the first phase, as we know that we are continuously conducting the phase number A and phase number B for your three-phase armature winding. So this will be the first path. So in first path, the direction of the current will be positive. After that particular point, the direction of current should be the negative. And after that particular PWM converter circuit, it will be continuously conducting its part. Similarly, if we are giving the supply to the next type of MOSFET, so obviously now we are giving the supply to the next type of MOSFET. So now we are giving the supply to PM3. So from PM3 itself, so it is PM3. So I can again rewrite, so we can get the actual concept of this particular thing. So now we can understand how will be the current flowing to that particular path. Now we are giving the supply to third MOSFET. The supply will be going to the third MOSFET itself, and from that will be the direction of this current. So because of this current will be IB, so now this direction of current is inward, and now direction of this current, because previously the direction of current will be IC will be inward. Now we are giving the phase sequence of this, so direction of this current IC, and from 4 devices it will be continuously completed part. So friends, this is the commutation part for the second leg, which windings of B and C are conducted. So after that, for the third case, we can understand same the concept will be very simple for understanding, so that the concept of the conduction is very simple. So how we can give the supply? We can give the supply to that particular winding, that is from this winding. Okay, from this, the direction of current IC will be remaining the same as it is. But current path, because this will be the first, and after that we have to control the second. So this current will be flowing to that, look like that particular winding. So from this, from this, from this, from this, from this, from this to this. Okay, so according to that particular position, it will complete its path. Friends, this is the actual concept of the working of your BLDC motor. Okay, so this is the actual controlling of your BLDC motor by using the different phase sequences. So the phase sequence will be A, B, B, C, and C, A. Okay, so A, B, B, C, and C to A. Okay, and as we know that this is the conduction that is 120 degree apart from each other. In the current direction, so the current will be flowing through that particular winding will be 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, and 60. Okay, now friends, we can understand these Hall effect sensors are mounted on that particular. Basically, as we know that there is a shaft, and on the shaft there should be a disc, and that particular disc we are mounting this type of the Hall effect sensor. So this is the sensor, will be called it as A, this is B, and this is effect sensor C, and this is the speed sensor by which we can sense the speed. And basically, according to that particular speed sensor, now we are giving the reference speed to that particular closed loop PWM speed controller, because as we had already seen this closed loop speed control diagram previously, it will give you what should be the speed of that particular motor, and this the Hall effect sensor will be give you what will be the rotor position of that particular BLDC motor, because as we know that these BLDC motors are preferred for the position control of your system. So these are called it as very important part of your system. So this Hall effect sensor, that is sensor number A, will be given to the signal to the Hall effect signal decoder. So this decoder circuit will senses the position of this particular drive, and according to that particular position, it will sets the value of the different types of power inverter. So as we know that first inverter, that is A, is A, that is A higher, A lower, B higher, B lower, C higher, C lower. So according to the particular commutation circuit, so this senses the different the information. So this whole system will be called it as control system, and according to that particular Hall effect sensor's position or the commutation and the closed loop speed controller system, we are giving the triggering signal to your different types of inverters, and according to the position of that particular triggering voltage that we are given to your inverter, it will control the speed of your BLDC motor. So friends, this is the actual system or working of your BLDC motor. Right. Now we can understand what will be basically waveform. Basically this type of the motor will be called it as the trapezoidal output EMF. So as we know that this type of motor will be sometimes we call it as the trapezoidal permanent magnet AC motor, or we call it as, because why we call it as the trapezoidal shape, because the output of this EMF will be the shape of the trapezoidal, so it is a DC. So this DC part will be given by this constant output. So this is the DC output of your BLDC motor, and this shape of this particular output of the phases, that is the AB, DC and CA, this is will give you the output back EMF in the concern with your trapezoidal form. So that's why this input waveform will be called it as a trapezoidal waveforms. Okay. So friends, now we can understand the detailed working. So as we know that friends, these are the waveform of the phase sequence of A and B and C and A. Why we are giving the phase sequence, or why we are giving the supply to the both armature winding, because if we are giving the supply to the only one winding, so at that time due to its rotor position, sometime this rotor will be moving in the clockwise direction, sometime it will move into the anti-clockwise direction. Suppose if you want to get the speed into a particular direction, so that's why we are using the simultaneously phase sequencing of the A B. So that's why we are giving the supply to the phase A and B. Okay, so that will be the reason behind that, because we are using the multi-phase winding to that particular stator circuit. So friends, as we know that this will be the phase displacement, because as we know that this will be the output waveform of your phase AB. So while we are understanding the detailed concept of the this circuit, while we are giving the supply to the phase A and B, so at that time we can check the value of the output voltage for the phase A to B, B to C. So this the conduction period is from 120 degree, and after that the output waveform will be suddenly reduced to its the value that is crossing to 0, and now it will give you the output for the phase AB into the negative direction. So this is the negative direction output. Similarly, while we are exciting the phase BC, so we are getting the output, that is, this is for the 60, this is for the 60, so we are getting the output, this is 60, this is 60, so this is 120, and then we are just crossovering the switch. So again we are getting the output voltage in concern with the trapezoidal form, while we are changing the phase sequence of the phase BC. Now we are changing the phase sequence to the phase CA. So at that time again we are getting the output voltage that is in form of the trapezoidal form. So this is the EMF or the output waveforms of that particular circuit. Okay. So now we can understand the current flowing to that particular circuit, because as we seen that direction of this current will be reversed while we are changing the different types of phases. So friends, as we seen that this is the current which will be flowing through that particular phase IA, because while we are checking if we are giving the current into the phase IA, because this will be the value of the current which will be getting or flowing from that particular phase or the armature winding of K. So at that time when the value of the IA will be positive, so at that time we are getting the value of IB should be the negative, and after some point it will be the crossovering point, and after that again it will give you the value of the ID, because the ID is the value of the current which will be flowing to that particular circuit. So this is the value of the ID, and the value of the current which will be called it as IA. So this is the value of the current which will be flowing to that particular armature winding. Now we can understand what should be the value of the current of the ID which will be flowing to that winding number B. So we are getting the output of this current that will be in negative direction, while the current will be flowing to the IA. So after some point the value of the current should be reaches to its the zero value, and after some time again the value of this current will be again going to the 60, that is 120 degree in a positive, and after some point again the value of the current of IB will be zero, again it will be give you a negative value. So while we are giving the supply to the C winding, so as we know that first of all the current should be value is zero. Now the current will be going to the negative state, then zero, then again it will give you the direction of current into the positive. So this is the direction of current with respect to theta. So theta is the angle by which we can get that is 60 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree, 60, 60, 60. So the total degree will be the 360 degree. So obviously we are getting the electrical angle that will be basically 60 degree. Okay. Now we can understand the output waveform of your torque, because as we know that it is a type of motor, and we have the fundamental concept of torque, because torque is called it as a force to cause a motion. So we are getting the constant torque, or we are getting the output waveform of your torque, and that will be nearly constant. So we are getting this is the torque waveform of your BLDC motor. So friends, these are the some of the concept in concern with your BLDC motor. Now we can understand what are the different equations that equations are related to your BLDC motor. So friends, now we can first of all write what are the important equations. So I can write the voltage induced, because we have to understand the various concepts. So the voltage induced is proportional to the speed of motor. So as we have the fundamental concept, that is A is equal to Ke into omega m. What do we mean by E? So this is equation number 1. What do we mean by E? It is generated or the induced EMF, which will be proportional to the value of the speed, obviously. So during this interval of the 60 degree, we can say that the current enters into the one phase and comes out to the another phase, that we had already discussed in concern with your basic block diagram. So therefore the power supply by the motor is basically given by, so we are getting the power, so power is equal to P is equal to E into ID, where E is called it as the EMF induced, ID will be called it as the current flowing through that particular circuit. So obviously first current will be positive, that is called it as the incoming, and second current will be negative. So we are getting the value of E, that is negative, the current of direction will be outermost, so that is negative E and negative ID. So when we are combining this all term, we are getting the power, that is 2 into E into ID. So this is the fundamental formula of the power. So as we know that the value of E, so what should be the value of E? So this is equation number 2. Now we are substituting the value of E into that particular equation. So we are getting the value of power, that is 2 into Ke omega m into ID. Okay. So now friends, this will be a very important equation, and that equation will be the power developed by this particular BLDC drive. Now friends, we want to find out the value of the torque developed, because this will be the fundamental waveform of torque. So we have the fundamental formula of the torque. So what do we mean by the torque, or we call it as the mechanical power developed by motor, because it is a motor. So as we know that the motor power P is equal to the product of torque into speed. So if you want to get the value of the torque, so what we are getting, that is P divided by omega m. So now we can substitute friends the equation of T into that particular equation. So we are getting the value of T. So this is the T, we call it as, this is equation number 3, this is equation number 4. Now we can substitute the value of the equation number 4 into 3. So we are getting the equation, that is T is equal to P divided by omega m. So now we are substituting the value of T. So it is 2 into Ke omega m ID divided by omega m. So this omega m get cancelled. So we are getting equation of T, that is T is equal to 2 into Ke. So we are substituting instead of 2 into Ke one constant term, that is Kt. So Kt into ID. So friends, according to that fundamental equation, we can say that the torque developed by your BLDC motor is proportional to the value of current. While we are changing the value of current, obviously the value of torque should be changed, and the value of the current will be changing according to the induced voltage, and the induced voltage will be controlled by the power modulator. This power modulator will getting the signal from the different Hall effect sensor commutation circuit. So friends, in this way we can develop or we can control the torque of DC motor by the changing of the value of the current. So this will be a very very important concept, and we are getting the value of current in concern with the value of torque, because we are changing the value of current, because in the previous equation we are getting the value of the current. So for the phase A, that is value of IB. So I can write for your understanding, because we are getting the constant current. Why we are getting the value of the constant current? Because please friends see, this is for IA, this is for IB, this is for IC. Now we are combining both these value of current. So we are getting one a constant torque. So we are getting the value of IA, this is IB, this is an IC, this is, now we are combining these all types of current, we are getting the constant waveform, and while we are getting the constant waveform, this is nothing but your torque waveform of your machine. So we can see that the value of IA here, the value of IB here, and the value of IC here. So this is a torque waveform, because we have derived from the fundamental equation that torque is proportional to the current. So this is the basic and fundamental derivation of your BLDC motor developed torque. Okay. Now friends, we can understand what are the different advantages of your BLDC motor. So friends, as we seen that these BLDC motors are very very efficient, and its velocity is determined by the frequency at which current is supplied, not voltage. So obviously this type of motor will be more efficient, because we are giving the current is supplied, because as we know that while we are changing the value of current, the torque will be changing. So this is the first advantage. Then the second advantage of the BLDC motor is that the brushes are absent. So due to that, the mechanical energy loss is, and the friction is less, and due to that, the efficiency of these particular machines will be very very large. So this will be the second advantage of your BLDC motor. So friends, after that we can understand the BLDC motor can operate at a high speed under any condition, because it will give you a constant torque. So that's why we are using this BLDC motor at any condition. So that will be a third advantage. Now we can understand the fourth advantage of the BLDC motor is that, so there should be a presence of no brushes. So obviously there should be no sparking, and if the no sparking, so there should be no noise at the time of the operation. So that will be another advantage. Then obviously the next advantage, that is more electromagnetics could be used on the stator for more precise control. So friends, as we know that if you want to get the precise position control, at that time we can prefer this type of the BLDC motor. So friends, next advantage will be that the BLDC motor, they accelerates and decelerates easily, as they are having a low rotor inertia, because in concern with the rotor construction we are using the permanent magnet, and these magnets are made up of the neodynamic type of magnetic material. Okay. Then the next advantage of the BLDC motor is that, so this type of motor will provide a very very high performance motor, and the value of the torque which will be produced by the BLDC motor, that is per cubic inch over a vast speed range. So that's why in most of the applications, such applications will be your drones, we are preferring the BLDC motor. Okay. So the next type of advantage of BLDC motor is that due to the absence of the brushes, so it will be more reliable. The life of expectancy is very very large, and due to the absence of brushes, there should be a very very maintenance free operation. Okay, so that will be the one of the advantage. Then the next advantage is that there should be a no ionizing spark from the commutator circuit, because we are using the electronic commutator, and as we know that in concern with the electronic commutator, there should be no spark will be produced. So obviously there should be no electromagnetic interferences is also get reduced. So that's why we are preferring the BLDC motor drives. Okay. And the next type of advantage, such motors can be cooled by the conduction, and no airflow are required for inside cooling. So as we know that this is the cooling advantage of your BLDC motor. So friends, the only basic disadvantages of the BLDC motor is that we are using the control circuit. So the control circuit is quite complex, and due to the presence of the control circuit, there are Hall effect sensors are there. So due to that, the cost of this BLDC drive will be very, very large. So this will be one of the disadvantage of your BLDC drive. And as we know that the BLDC drive is having low starting torque. So this BLDC drives are not preferred for the application where we can require the high starting torque. So that will be one of the disadvantage of your system. Now friends, we can understand what are the different applications of your BLDC motor drive. So friends, the first application of the BLDC motor drive is basically these BLDC drives are applicable in the different types of the aerospace applications, because as we know that this is a very popular method. There should not required any maintenance, the efficiency is more, speed torque range is very, very large. So that's why in various aerospace applications we can provide this BLDC. Similarly, in biomedical instrumentation, means in the medical industry or the biomedical instrumentation, they prefer this type of motor because it will not produce any type of noise. So due to that, these motors will be provided in the different types of biomedical instrumentation. Then the next application, it is driving for the cooling fans. So as we know that there are the different computer peripherals, different types of electronic devices which will be requiring the cooling. So for the cooling purposes, it doesn't require any type of air. So that's why in the driving cooling fans, we are preferred the BLDC drive. So after that, the application of the BLDC motor will be used in the record player. So obviously, in concern with the record player, it should be required a very higher efficiency, lower noise. There should be a no maintenance. So that's why we are preferring the BLDC motor is for your record players. Similarly, in concern with the tape drive recorders, we are preferring the BLDC drive. So friends, the next application of the BLDC motor is drive. It is basically used for the spindle drive, then hard disk for your computer. So in the different computer peripherals, we are preferred the BLDC motor. And then last application, and this application nowadays it is very, very popular for the BLDC motor. So the BLDC motors are provided for the operation of your drones, because as we know that the drones are required for the various positioning sensor. So this type of the Hall effect sensor will provide you the actual position of this particular drone. So friends, next we can understand these are some of the pictorial views. So in the first picture we can see the application of BLDC motor. So this BLDC motor basically we are getting the different types of BLDC motors. So these are the different applications of the BLDC motor which will be preferred for your drones. Similarly, this is the computer peripherals in which we can use the BLDC motor for your cooling. So these are the record players on which we can use the BLDC motor for the positioning sensing, that is the SISD control, and this is the application of the aerospace control. So in that particular application, we are preferring the BLDC motor for a industry. So friends, in this way we have a detailed study about the BLDC motors are used for the different application, different types of the electrical system. Thank you.